Welcome to Club Damingo, brought to you by Cyclone Comics.
Good morning, Timothy. How's it going?
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
You're not in trouble using your full name?
No, good. I'm either in trouble or it's my mother, or both.
Use my full name and I'm still in trouble, or not in trouble. Just it's always been you, young man. Yes.
Gary is it, right? Gary's
Gary.
not short for Garrington
Garibaldi or Garrington or yeah.
Garalicious.
Gary. Oh yes. That's the Old Testament name.
The Garalicious. I thought that might be what Bell calls you.
The first drag stripper back in Bible times. I went Old Testament.
You were drag stripping all the way back then. I didn't think you were that old, Gary.
Yeah, comics was a hard gig back in the Old Testament times.
You were chipping it into the sandstone with a.
Oh God. Okay, that's it for me. I'll stop recording and we'll just post that as it is.
We're done.
Yeah, that's a short show. Yeah, right.
Drop that mic out of my ear.
Okay, first thing I've got to jump in with is that artist's name that you forgot last week.
Oh, I know. How terrible. Emmanuel Hernaez. I think I kept on saying Hernaez, and in my brain I'm going, I think that's his name, but it's not his full name. I'm just so bad with names. So I'm very sorry, Manny, because the work is great and he's very patient that it's not inked yet. But it will be the first issue of Greener Pastures Team Up when it does happen. It'll be the lead story, of course, because who else would you have lead off an Australian team up comic, I reckon, other than Killaroo and Trevor Bovis. And I've had, oh no, let's keep on talking about Emmanuel for a minute. So I follow Manny on Instagram, and if you know what's good for you, you should do so too, because his work is really great.
Is that a threat?
Oh, it's
an observation, a recommendation.
Yes, a hearty recommendation. So I don't know Manny personally, really. And from what I can tell, because when I'm on Instagram, I'm just flipping through very quickly and stopping and pausing only briefly on stuff. And there are times when Manny on his Instagram one morning, or every so often, there'll be like a heap of digital drawings, all pretty much in sketch stage, all just warming up and sketchy, and really good fun for that. And I think it's because he's on 4ZZZ, which I guess is a Brisbane community radio station. So I think he does like the graveyard shift or something, and he draws almost the whole time. So I don't know if they broadcast that, if they stream the drawing while he's doing it. So he gets all these great drawings. There's a very kind of big, as far as I can tell, a big hint of old school to the drawing style, like good chunky Kirby, but not Kirby. But there's this really cool kind of aspect to Manny's work, and I really love it. But the exciting thing is, over the last, I reckon, 5 days, and it puts me to shame because it takes me forever to draw a single illustration, let alone a whole comic. He's put together a whole comic for himself. So he's just been putting up all of these like sketches and rough pages, etc.
Oh, I think I've seen that just recently, just the last couple of days.
The last few days. Yeah. And then I think this morning he had a photograph of like a test print he'd done out of a laser printer or something, where he was folding it and making sure it works right. Okay. I'm super keen for that. His work is really cool to look at. So,
good.
Don't know what the story is. I don't know, what the content of the
he's just self-publishing.
I don't know anything. Like I said, most of the time I flip through and I don't read captions. Okay. I never read captions, almost ever. So if the photo is there to make me read what it is you're doing, I usually don't read it. But hopefully we'll see that soon. So cheers, Emmanuel Hernaez. Love your work. Sorry for forgetting your first name.
Otherwise known as Hernaez.
Yeah, or Manny.
So, and you're still.
So on Instagram, he goes under Zig Posca. I wrote that down so I wouldn't forget it. ZIGPOSCA, Zig Posca. So that's the one to look up. I don't know.
Wow. The mystery deepens. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
taking that one off my list of things to talk about. There we go.
Oh, okay. It was on your list as well. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. What else we got? I don't have much today except to sort of put the flag up in the ground for Sluggish numbers 3 and 4 have gone live on Kickstarter. That's Rob Lyle's project, and for not an idea, but to get the 4 issues in any way, shape, or form in this scene as it stands is pretty mighty. So more power to him for getting that up and running and onto the Kickstarter area again, that stage. And so hopefully that'll mean that with that story finished after issue 4, he might package it together in a single volume, which would be pretty mighty as well. Very, very hard to get to that stage in Australian comics, self-publishing.
Yeah, nice. Good on him. But then there's Bodine America, who just launched issues, what? Was it 7 and 8 or something?
6 and 7.
6 and 7 overnight on Kickstarter. Yeah.
Another one. Crazy.
Yeah. We're surrounded by good people doing great stuff at a quite a good clip. So good on them.
That's right. Yes. Unlike us, who are glacial.
We are glacial. I sent you something that we're not allowed to show or talk about on here because it's supposed to be a surprise. But that I sent you that image, which is like the third coloring of something that I've done after doing the
and you love your coloring, don't you? You just love coloring.
Oh my God, it just takes me forever. But I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. It takes forever, and that whole illustration, I put at the bottom when I roughed it, when I penciled it, when I inked it. Like I just make little notes on it, and there's months in between steps.
Wow! Wow! Do you really do that? Do you do that on all of your artwork?
Yeah, on every page. And
wow, that's one for the history books. So the research is you're saving a lot of work.
Yeah, right. I don't know when I started doing it, but I've been doing it for a while. Yeah, and it's just there.
Yeah, right. There. Yep. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to sign my work full stop, let alone
remember to sign it.
Yeah. I finish your work and walk away and go, oh, hold on a sec, signature. Where do I put it now? Yeah.
So yeah, slow. Yes, I'm slow, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
You know what else I did in the last week or so? Because I wasn't feeling well for a few days, so I tried to do stuff that was not terribly
inducing.
Important, that wouldn't really require a deft hand or anything. I made a design for a t-shirt, which I don't know if I'll ever upload it or not, for how do I explain it? So last year, when it was the 30th anniversary of Greener Pastures as a comic book, and we did like 16 personal appearances, I made a tour t-shirt, which I've worn on the show. It's like the big 30 on the green 30 on the black t-shirt.
One with the typo.
That's right, the one with the typo. Ladies and gentlemen, children at home, there's no typo. There's no. It's just Gary trying to make me feel bad.
But buy one to find out for yourself.
That's right. Well, if only I put it up for sale, and I never did. Like I put it up somewhere and made a test print for myself, and I think Anne-Marie got one. Yeah, Anne-Marie got one. And then I went, I don't know when I'll announce this, and I just never did. But I tried to make it look like a gig, a t-shirt, a tour t-shirt for like a rock band or something. So it's got very little overt comic-y stuff on it, graphically at least. If you read through the stuff on the back, the tour stops on the back, it's Oz Comic Con and etc. So I just did another one for the year that's just passed, and although we didn't do 16 live appearances, we did I think it's 7. I think it'll be 7 by the time I finish. I thought, that's a nice one. So I just designed that as well. So maybe on another day when I've got nothing to do, I'll work out how to use one of the print-on-demand t-shirt places. There's a good Australian-owned one that I saw another comic book person use. I can't remember what they're called now. I thought I'll just use them instead of trying out all these different places.
I'm in the market for a local one as well. There's a lot of them around, and you can't find out quite readily whether they're Australian or not, because I prefer to use Australian companies if I can.
Yeah. I think Redbubble is actually Australian,
Oh,
right?
is
Wasn't
it?
it
Oh,
founded in
okay.
Australia?
Hmm.
Again, no research. I don't know. I'm talking out of a hole in my
Yeah.
head, but I feel like it was. But uh, but that's so huge. I kind of don't really want to get lost in that. So I'm looking for a smaller one,
Yeah.
which another Australian comic book artist who's got lots of followers on Instagram. I forget how many. They go under Gentle Coda, CODA, on Instagram if you want to follow them. But it looks like they're getting a little bit of what do you call it, influencer
Oh, yeah,
heat.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I think this company probably asked them to do it, right, to make some reels, etc. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, that's as trustworthy as anybody right now. So I'll probably use that company and upload these two T-shirts.
It,
So
it's a balancing act.
again,
Of
they
course, the other thing that I look for is high quality t-shirts
mm,
and getting an explanation of what is, a color fast color, what is wash
yeah,
friendly,
yeah,
what is, all those things that,
yeah,
like
yeah,
a t-shirt owner wants resiliency and quality without blowing
yeah,
up the price. You can get your
yeah,
bottom
yeah.
row t-shirts that are just crap and don't put them in the
Yeah,
dryer or else you'll have baby clothes.
that's
Uh,
right.
right up
I,
to,
I I mean, I would really rather screen print them, get them hand screen printed. But that means you have to actually invest in a print run, which I'm not interested in doing.
yeah.
At least now, maybe never again. And it just seems silly to me that I'm being so adamant about old school screen printing, and everybody's very accepting about whatever process it is that people like, pardon me, Redbubble use. So
I'll
I
edit
should
the
just get
burp
onto
out.
that bandwagon.
I'll
Yeah.
edit that burp out. That
Yes, okay.
I
What if I
I
just did
probably
your
won't
edit
edit
then?
it out.
That one that people probably never would have even realized I'd done. But anyway, if we could highlight what it was.
Hey,
Um,
hey, have you finished talking about t-shirts?
no, because you haven't seen this one.
Oh,
This
okay.
is uh, this is
Let's.
Cockatoo Comics, Australia, Sydney's newest
Ah,
comic shop. Siobhan Coombs, who is running SCAMP this weekend. So I'll be at SCAMP. You should come. But I bought this a couple of weekends ago at Comic Conversation because uh, Siobhan was seated right next to me. So I spent the money
and
I
ran.
bought it. I've been meaning to the last couple of times I saw it, and I thought, oh, I'll just get it now. So yes, and it's beautifully screen printed. This is
Very,
what I
very
would
dense
like.
white ink. Yes,
Yes, yes, very thick, dense white ink, about as dense as
and
you, and very nice T-shirt, very good quality, and
yeah.
so yeah,
What are the washing instructions on the t-shirt?
uh, take it off your body before washing.
Or stand in the shower for 10 minutes, cold
Yeah,
water
that's
only.
right. I don't know. We just
Oh
chuck
God!
everything in the wash and then hang it all on a line, and there you go. It's
You
fine.
put your
So there you
dates
go.
down and your times on your artwork, but you don't look after your t-shirts. You're a mystery to me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a conundrum wrapped in a Cockatoo Comics T-shirt.
Hey, if you finish talking about
I am not. The illustration on the
Scamp, which
front
is
is
on.
by Annie Huang.
Ah,
Annie
okay.
Huang, who you can follow on Instagram as Annie and the emotions, the emotions, something like that. Anyway, so she makes comics as well, and has been Siobhan's kind of right hand person doing graphics and stuff for Cockatoo, especially when it was only an online shop, and for Scamp to a certain extent, and all of that stuff. So
Right, okay.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
where
felt
where
like
is
it's a good shirt.
where is the street front shop for Cockatoo?
It's in Sydney somewhere.
Is it Liverpool
It's
kind of way,
in
or is it Lane
no,
Cove?
no, no. Lane Cove. That's it. Lane Cove.
I knew it started with
Yeah.
L.
Good on you.
Yeah. And
The
Scamp is on this weekend at the Leichhardt,
Leichhardt Town
another
Hall.
L.
Another L.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scamp this weekend. And the great thing about Scamp, if you've been to a few things in Sydney, I think between Scamp and Otherworld Zine Fair is the only place that you're going to see people really from out of state come to table. And Otherworld Zine Fair, although there are comic book people who will come and table at that Zine Fair, Scamp is comic centric. So I know there are people coming from Perth and from Queensland, and so yeah, it's one to continue to support for those reasons as well. If you've been to a few shows this year in Sydney and you're going, oh, it'll probably be the same people, well, you're wrong. There'll be a few extra people, a few different people there.
Cool.
You're wrong. Get your head together. So I'll see you at SCAMP.
No, you won't.
Not you.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the email. I'm waiting for the email, but no emails from SCAMP at all saying, Gary, won't you come along?
Okay, I'll have a word in Siobhan's ear.
Or Gary Licious, O ye of the Old Testament.
That's it.
Cool. Okay, well, have you got something else to talk about?
I'm already booked in for Fraser Pop in Maryborough next year. How does that sound? That sounds like fun, I reckon.
Well, there you go.
If you're in central North Queensland, is it that far up, I guess? Yeah, I did. In July?
Yeah, in July. Yeah.
I'm booked in. That'll be fun too.
We could all be dead by July next year.
The way this is going, we'll probably be dead before you hit end on the recording.
Yeah, it's that bad. Yes. Hey, last week we were talking about just rather flippantly or lightly about you seeking a publisher for Greener Pastures and whether that's something that you should continue to think about, like someone like, this is overseas, someone like Antarctic Press, who has a track record and has been around for a while. Have you progressed your thoughts on that, or have you just been too busy, or are you still defaulting back to just publishing it yourself?
It's not that I haven't been. It's not that I've been too busy to think about it more. Like that was really just a thought that came because of the material I was watching on YouTube, and I'm still watching some, and it's interesting to continue to see how publishing is going. About a year ago, maybe 18 months ago, I went to King's Comics, and I specifically asked to be shown to where the self-publishing material would be. Can you show me some self-publishing? Not Australian, just general self-publishing, right? I don't know if I've talked about this on the show or not. It's probably before we started.
Anyway.
And they couldn't. Like everything they pointed me to was a publishing house of some sort. Very grassroots, a number of them, but I don't think they found anything that was self-published for me to look at. Because I'm going, does it even exist? That was the point at which I was asking the question. Does it even exist anymore, self-publishing, at the local comic shop level? Right?
Yeah.
It definitely exists in Kickstarter and online, but beyond that, does it exist? So that's still the thing I'm thinking about, and it still seems to be what I see is that there are small boutique publishers, so yeah, I'm still trying to get a lay of the land in regards to that.
Right. Yeah. It's an interesting one that there's a lot of activity in Australian comics at the moment, and they all seem to be rather self-publishing, independent, doing their own thing instead of the getting together and forming an imprint or doing something like a few other examples have happened over the year. And each of those community groups have fallen by the wayside to a certain extent. So I think if I was to be approached by someone entering the field for the first time, I don't know what I would recommend as far as hooking up with a publisher, a local publisher, or doing it yourself, or self-publishing yourself and learning the tricks of the trade just for yourself, so you do it yourself. So
for sure,
because a lot of local publishers just by default they fall by the wayside after a while, and the creators and their IP get stuck in this fallout of a publisher either selling or going out of business or just grinding to a halt so slowly that and no one's aware of it. It's not necessarily with intent, but just all these IPs get caught up in this glacial downflow of comics publishing, when if you have it like you are doing it yourself, you have that control and you have that control of momentum as well. So I'll be thinking about that a bit over a couple of days.
Were you kind of interested at the time in the whole Creators Bill of Rights that was made mid-90s, I guess? Dave Sim, Scott McLeod, Eastman and Laird.
Yeah, I was across it to an extent, yeah.
Yeah. because one of the important things that I think they were trying to put amongst that was your ability to take your IP and publish it elsewhere if you thought the publisher you were with was not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, not even for that reason. You could just
Yeah.
take it and publish it elsewhere if you wanted to, which is a hard thing to pitch to a publisher, because supposedly the publisher is going to invest sweat equity, at least, if not actual money, in you. So at that point, you start to say, yeah, but at any point I might pull the plug. Once it's successful, I'll pull the plug and publish it myself or whatever. So I can understand how that's a difficult one. But am I right in thinking that Image Comics is pretty much that if you wanted to, you could stop going through Image. You could have 3 issues through Image and then do your 4th image elsewhere.
I think technically that could. Never read a contract, but I think that's true. But yeah, I think
because that's something to make sure. I guess what I was heading towards there was if you're going to get involved with a publisher in Australia or overseas, I would say that even if you don't have in your contract, if it was an overseas one, I'm sure that there'd be a contract. If it's an Australian one, maybe not. But if you're making contracts or making agreements or whatever, not necessarily that you can pull the plug at any point, but that there is a time limit or a number of issues limit or something like that, where after that point, it's up for grabs again or whatever. Just to make sure that you cover yourself, that you can relocate if and when you need to.
And if the publisher that you're currently with is actually doing what they said that they were going to do, like quarterly reports and a certain amount of marketing that is self-evidently being done, a clipping service where you can send a publisher all the ads that have been run and all the effort into marketing the title. Whether it sells or not is kind of secondary to the obligation that the publisher said that they would meet with this IP.
Exactly. It's been something that I've seen a couple of times now that I'm doing stuff that requires real proper contracts with the short film and the possibility of what might come after that. And when we also did a contract and agreement with an animation place to look at making an animatic for pitching an animated version of Greener Pastures. So part of the fact that Michael, the co-creator of Greener Pastures, is a lawyer, not an IP lawyer, but he understands, what contracts are for to a better degree than I do. Has made sure that there's a clause in there that says if we don't think that they're doing a good job, we can get it out. Like, it's as easy as that. You have to mediate. You have to give them time. You have to, not so much prove it, but you have to have a reason to be saying you as the producer or the production company or whatever are not doing a good enough job. We're cancelling the contract. Like it's actually in the contract that you can do that. So you can walk away as well. So these things are important.
Yeah, so you don't have to remain in what you perceive to be an abusive relationship. Get the hell out of Dodge. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did I ever show you the animatic that was made for the animated version of Greener Pastures? I might send it to you.
Press play.
No, no one's seeing. It's not. It's not finished enough to really show publicly.
Okay.
But I don't think it was hitting the notes right either. But yeah, it was interesting that we were. That was a number of years ago, not a long time ago, only I don't know 3 or 4 years ago, that we started that ball rolling. Because I could see Greener Pastures being a cartoon show for adults, as well as I could see it being live action.
Yep.
Anyway, off topic. Keep going.
Could be half. Could be the older Trevor is in real life, and his memories of his childhood and university days are all animated.
That's a great idea. Ooh.
Very Kill Billish. Because had a couple of flashback animated scene. Yeah.
Interesting. I
So
hadn't thought
anyway,
of that.
just going back to the earlier conversation, just that I'm finding more and more creators are appearing out of the blue, having got themselves a book deal like straight away without bypassing it, while bypassing all of the entry level stuff. They've just gone straight to, no, I've got an IP, I've got an idea, I want to get published. I can put time in to get myself an agent or a literary agent, or I can pitch myself, and they get a deal.
Have you got examples or that you're happy to talk about? Or
not off the top of my head, but even Rob Lyle and Ben Sullivan's Free Monkeys. I mean,
true.
That IP it was pitched to a book publisher, not to a comics publisher, or to someone who is like comics adjacent, but wouldn't be seen as someone necessarily that's a comic book publisher in the traditional sense of the word.
Exactly. Yeah, very cool. You're absolutely right. I was going to say. But Free Monkeys is a good example, disproving what I'm about to say, which is although you say they seem, or you were saying they just go straight to a publisher and then they've got a book deal, but do you know that they haven't been doing it online? Like, so much of the online stuff just goes over my head, or under my radar rather.
I don't know.
And hundreds of pages worth of digital stuff on whatever it is, Webtoons.
Plus, they're not newbies either. They've been doing comics of their own for many years now. So that was probably not the best example. But imagine if those creators...
No, that's a great example.
Oh, okay, I'll shut up.
No, keep going.
No, I'm just saying, imagine if if it was with their first or second idea that they pitched to a book publisher and they hadn't been published by a comic publisher, or they hadn't self-published themselves yet, that idea got picked up straight away by a book publisher, and away they go. They've got themselves a career that they can make with as they can. Yeah.
Is that basically what happened with our mate Alyssa? Your Tasmanian mate Alyssa?
I think so.
I think this was her first graphic novel, I think. Yeah. So
and that's my point, is that is happening more and more.
Yeah. Beautiful work too. Yeah, cool. Interesting. To go back a number of steps, and you mentioned my thoughts about Antarctic Press perhaps being a good fit, and we forgot that Peter Lane's Sky's Cavern Library was being published by Antarctic Press in their flagship anthology Furlough, and I forgot all about it on the day that we recorded, and again texting each other going, "Oh, I forgot that was actually happening."
So much for research and homework, but
that's right.
Yeah, Peter Lane. Got to say, Peter Lane. Right.
No, don't say it 3 times into a mirror. That's all. But so Furlough is perhaps Antarctic Press's first ever comic. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe Ninja High School was, but it's been around for ages, and it's a furry or anthropomorphic centric anthology. Great fit for Sky's Cavern Library. So
and appropriate to say it's been around for donkey's years.
Donkey's years. Oh,
always call me that.
So he's is it issue 201? I've been chatting with with Peter on
the telephone
messenger. 201. He's in issue 2. He starts in issue 201. So
that's amazing. 201 issues.
Yeah. Yep. So we've got a man on the inside now. Peter's our man on the inside.
You got an Arctic fox on the inside.
That's right. And speaking of Sky's Cavern Library and Sky, the character, did you see what came out? One of the drawings that came out of the Drink and Draw last Friday
night?
I
put your name in the Facebook feed just to draw your attention.
It was a rhetorical question, Digger.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you? Okay. We almost went into a dream sequence there as well.
Oh. I'll cut that bit out when you call me a dickhead. I'll cut that bit out.
It throws me off. It's supposed to throw you off. It throws me totally off. Sky and Trevor were drawn together in one of the sketches being done on Friday night in Drink and Draw. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it meant that I could also then start to again say to Peter, and so what are we doing with a team up, a crossover? So he's seriously thinking about that some more as well now, which is great as well.
Good. Yes. Yeah. It's a great IP, that one. I
Yeah,
don't like
thanks.
the term IP, but I keep on using it. But anyway, it is what it is these days. Isn't it?
It's fine.
Yeah. IP.
It's fine.
Yeah. So Drink and Draw is back. So last Friday night was the first show in a reunion tour of at least 3 weeks. And that was fun to watch. The usual abuse was hurled and bad jokes were told. And it was good to see the gang back again. And you've been penciled in as a guest for one of them?
Yeah, Friday week, the last of the 3.
Right, okay. Yeah. So good value. If you've got nothing else doing on a Friday night, you bunch of losers, get onto YouTube and or Facebook, and Psycho Janitor is now looking after them. It's not a comics show. This reunion tour is a Psycho Janitor. So that's Spedsy's company or publishing imprint.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very good.
Yep. What's next?
What is next? Have you got what have you got up your sleeve?
Drink and Draw returns, Sluggish 3 and 4, Niteside 6 and 7, Free Monkeys, Ben Sullivan, Rob Lyle. The conversation about publishers, whether they've been progressed or not, that's all I've got on my list.
Were we going to talk a little bit more about publishing and what it really means? In the flow of things, kind of thing.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say about publishers and either going out of business or slowing down to be a non-service to the IPs that it does publish is that because of that happening, we've been tending, in my opinion, to be losing comic creators to other fields. Like they sort of get burnt out dealing with a publisher that's supposed to be doing A, B, and C for them, and they find out that it's not going fast enough or they're not doing what they said that they'd do. And they end up leaving completely and being burnt out by the experience of trying to get stuff published via a publishing imprint. And they either choose then to do it themselves or they end up losing interest in running that treadmill at all and just hopping off and going into animation or going into some other industry completely. And we lose the talent from the talent pool of Australian comics or comics in general.
Yeah. I mean, you get if you've got a job in animation, at least you get paid, right? But if you're jumping off one treadmill of comics to jump into animation, you're jumping into another treadmill. Let me tell you, it's hard work working in animation.
Yeah.
But I was telling you before we got on air, I was chatting to somebody about wanting to get some work finished and how long it's been taking and all of that. And I think sometimes the idea of publishing is actually the thing that stops us from doing the initial work, which is making the comic, right? Why are we thinking about publishing when we should be sitting at the drawing board just drawing, sort of thing? And I totally get it. That's kind of hard to pretend doesn't exist, but I sometimes think that we should be thinking about publishing as the byproduct of what it is that we are doing, which is making a comic. And if we find a publisher or we publish it ourselves or we just put the pages up for free on our Facebook page or whatever, it's kind of like maybe it's better to not think about what it is that's happening to the pages after they're finished until they're finished. And
there's no rush.
And there's no rush. That's right.
There really isn't, because you're only in competition with yourself, really. And when you see other people releasing stuff in clippity clop and all that kind of stuff, that's great. That's fantastic, but it's got nothing to do with the race that you're running. And it's not even a race, really. It's just you're doing a project for fun.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Well, if you're not doing it for fun, somebody's been lying to you, because you're not going to make a lot of money out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, we're preaching to the choir here. I know, because everybody who watches is probably already in comics. It's very hard to really make your living, to make money from comics. Although a lot of the discussion that you and I have is like, how do we manage to make that part of what we're doing?
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be your primary concern, that's for sure, because it's going to be hard to get that to eventuate. So make the comics, and then think about later if you want to publish this story, if you want to wait until there's 5 more stories and publish it as a comic with a spine, or how you're going to go about it. So I was also relaying to you the story, and maybe if I've got time and I remember to look it up before next week, I'll get the facts straight. But I once read facts on
Unheard of.
In the club. We don't have facts in this club. leave your facts at the door.
Get this man another cup of tea.
That's right. But I read a story once, and who knows how many of these details I'm getting wrong, or if none of it really exists in the first place at all. But I'm pretty sure it's a New Zealand cartoonist, comic maker of quite a good standing, very well respected, and getting on a bit, getting a little bit older, and became quite reclusive, and people weren't seeing him very much around and about. And didn't see any more comics out of this person, which was a shame. It sounds like he was quite well regarded. And then this person finally passes away, because they were quite elderly. And then when family or friends or acquaintances, I don't know who, went through this cartoonist's house, to look at the what was left behind, it actually turned out that they'd been making comics the whole time and just never showing anyone, let alone publishing them. And there were like hundreds of unpublished pages that this cartoonist was making. It almost sounds like, I mean, we were talking about Hicksville a number of weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago. It really sounds to me like it's a story out of Hicksville, which is why I might be thinking it's from New Zealand, because it really sounds like something that would happen in Hicksville, that you would find this amazing treasure trove of unpublished pages from a great local comic book artist. So but it's like, I bet you he was really happy. He didn't need the money. He didn't need the stress. And he just sat and continued to make his comics and went, I don't care if anyone reads them. I like this page. That's a good one. Let's start another. It's almost like what John Byrne was doing with the
X-Men.
Sideways, X-Men stories, which we talked about a few weeks ago as well.
That's the zone that I'm trying to reclaim with the Jackaroo. There is no hurry. There's just do it for yourself. Do it for your own set of reasons. Yep. And it's not a race. It's not a race. Just do the best you can for the project. Enjoy yourself along the way, and have that conversation after the fact when the work is done as to whether you're pitching it, you're going to release it yourself, not release it at all, or pitch it to some publishers.
Yep. Send the JPEGs to your mates.
Yeah.
Often that's what happens too, right? You send your JPEGs to your mates, and eventually somebody goes, "Oh my God, this has got to be published. I'm going to publish it for you."
Interesting. Because there's different muscles to flex, and you quite rightly say the important muscle first off is getting the work done, and it's not really work, getting the art done, getting the story told. That's the primary concern, and anything after that is secondary to really, because you can't publish stuff that hasn't been finished.
Exactly. And I forgot to mention who drew that illustration for Drink and Draw. It was Martin Gammon. Oh, Gammon. Martin Gammon. Lovely bloke who I chatted with for a short while when we were both at Paper Cuts earlier this year. So he had like a table full of stuff to sell as well. So that was a huge surprise when I saw that on Saturday morning. I didn't watch it live, so I didn't know it had happened. So yeah, really, really chuffed. Yeah, so that was cool that Martin did that. Thank you, Martin.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about publishing, let's say something else. This is one of the reasons why I still spend a little bit of time on Instagram once or twice a day, is that Anders, what's the name of the fellow who did the Anders comics, the Anders kids comics? I should have looked this up before. Anders and what was one of his Anders and the Comet by Gregory Mackay. So Gregory
Mackay.
That's it. Thank you. Oh, I knew I could count on you. Gregory Mackay, who I sat with at a festival in England, sat right next to and had good chats with there as well. Names just don't stay in my head. It doesn't matter how much I love you or don't love you. That's if I remember your name or not is not a gauge of that. So Gregory, I haven't seen a thing out of him on Instagram for ages, and in the last couple of days has been these tiny little snippets of weird shit with the hashtag Anders. I'm going, oh my God, here comes another Anders comic. So today it was like a close-up photograph of a Pantone color swatch, and the caption was something like choosing colors for the front cover or something. I'm going, oh my God, he's designed the front cover. And so we're pretty close, I reckon, to getting a new Anders comic from Gregory Mackay, which is very cool. I think they're wonderful.
And along similar lines, Tim Molloy has been working on a lot of new stuff for Mr. Unpronounceable and different kinds of projects that are associated with that. He's just been working away in the background, and now he's starting to just let people have a look at preview pages and images and things like that. So it's another artist who is bloody amazing, and it's good to see he's about to release some new material.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, wonderful. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have Christoph Bogacs, is that how you pronounce it? Bogacs, Christoph Bogacs, who's a writer, but doing some great stuff. He's had some stuff published recently by DC, in fact. So somebody who is taking that leap of quitting their day job and figuring out how do you become a working comics writer from Australia. And right now he's in the UK because he's about to go to Thought Bubble. And he's doing, I think, at least 2 signings while he's over there, one at Gosh and can't remember the other one. But so Gosh is in England, I think, and the other signing is going to be in Scotland, from what I can remember. But he and others, again, I didn't really look to see who the other contributors were, have been doing a thing called Requiem, and they were just kickstarting Requiem 3, and they had to pull the plug on it because they weren't going to get the required amount to be a successful Kickstarter. So somebody who's ignorant like me, haven't done many Kickstarters, I believe that's a smarter thing to do, is to pull the plug on your Kickstarter before it fails rather than letting it get to the end. So it was falling short enough that they didn't think, we should risk it to the end. But it was interesting. Christoph has a pretty good, I'll see if I can bring it up. I haven't got my mail program open, but he's got a good email that you should get onto, and it's always pretty short, and he's usually talking about what he's either got coming up or how he's.
Is this a Substack or a newsletter?
No, it's a newsletter. I don't think it's a Substack. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So is it a Substack? No, it's not a Substack. But he did just him talking about what it meant to cancel that Kickstarter, why they did it, and how it doesn't mean the end. They just got to refigure it. I think he said that they were deciding they would make Kickstarter be the thing that pays for everything. And then if they sell it at shows or whatever, online, other distribution methods, that will be cream. And they've realized they need to pull back again and do what they were kind of doing before, which was the Kickstarter has to be part of a mix of incomes that will pay for it.
Yeah. So the Requiem 3 might have had a bigger budget on Kickstarter because they were changing what they were expecting to cover.
Yeah, exactly. And he said it's not over. They'll have to relaunch it later and at a lower threshold. And but it's interesting. Everybody says that the social media does not help you anymore. Social media is not going to get your Kickstarter over the line anymore. It used to be that Twitter, and I've heard this Christoph was talking about it, but I've heard it from friend of the show, Dean Haspiel, and I've seen it in another couple of YouTubes that I've watched recently, where people are going, it used to be that you'd say something on Twitter and it would bring people to your Kickstarter, and it's like Twitter's just useless. And like you keep on saying, it's all about control. You can control your own email and email list, and it's going to people who have signed up to please hear from you. And that seems to be the best marketing for your comic. We'll see how long that remains to be the case, because as more and more of us decide, well, this is how it's done now, then it becomes a sea of enormous amounts of emails again. And it's like, well, it becomes hard again. But it was worth looking at. So Christoph's email is called "You Snooze, You Newsletter." So I don't know how do you sign up for one that's not a Substack? If you just go searching for Christoph either on Twitter or Instagram.
I'm probably sure hangs off a website as well.
And Christoph is one of the people behind SCAMP as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's still in the UK, is he?
Yeah. I don't think Thought Bubble has started yet. Yeah, so on Instagram, probably the easiest place to find him is Christoph Bogacs. So ChristofBogacs, Christoph Bogacs.
Right.
Always good to chat to too. He was at the Common Conversation, and we all went out for a meal afterwards. So chatting with him was cool.
Yep.
So off to Thought Bubble. He's going to miss Scamp, but I think that's fine if you're going to be at Thought Bubble instead.
Speaking of European shows, did you read the latest this morning that Angoulême is in a bit of hot water?
Ooh. No. What's going on there?
They released a letter of complaint from all these Grand Prix winners, Chris Ware and the last 20 or so people who won the Grand Prix for Angoulême, a letter of lack of confidence in the organising committee of Angoulême, and it's under the umbrella of a business name, and they want that to be taken away, and a new chair person and committee come in to run the whole thing, the whole festival. They actually say that it's in danger of 2026 being the last one through incompetence and lack of management skills and all this kind of stuff. So this letter is Paul Gravett had released it on his Facebook feed, and it's all signatures, Posey Simmons and all these European artists and Chris Ware and everyone who's won over the last 25 or 30 years signed this petition, basically saying,
wow, that's very powerful.
Angoulême, get your act together, or you're at risk of it failing completely. It's lost its credibility. I mean, I'd still love to go one year, but having that floating around is certainly a vote of discontent from people who are in the know. So I wonder what the go is there. But in a general sense, they're just complaining about a general sense of incompetence and not doing the right thing via the festival's interests.
Yeah, wow. Interesting that comes up after last week's conversation about festivals, because that's like the granddaddy of them all, isn't it? I'd like to get to it 1 year. It's weird, again, going back to the conversation about, aren't we here just to make comics, and then publishing might be a byproduct. The same thing happens if I was to go to Angoulême, I'd be going, okay, so how do I capitalize on this? What do I do with my comic? Should I bring some, and really I should just go and enjoy being, immersed in the comic culture of Angoulême for
Yep.
the week or however long it lasts.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been like that forever. Every time we go anywhere, as a family or as a couple, it's like, okay, so where's the comic shops and what can I do? Should I bring some? Should I ring them first? It's like, man, it doesn't always have to be comic related, does
Up to
it?
comics.
Sure, it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. So
I think
cool.
I think Belle just laughed from downstairs. Huh? Yes, there was an evil
At me?
laugh. Yeah, at you. She was laughing at what you said. It doesn't always have to be about the comics.
Yes, it does. As if it
She's,
doesn't.
you're making her laugh again.
Yeah. She knows me well. Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sad thing about the Angoulême letter from all these past winners of the Grand Prix is, I think that's the term you use for the prize that they win.
I think yeah.
That this has been boiling along for X amount of years. Could even be up to 10 years of this management slowly doing things that the people in the know aren't happy with. So for a show that the size and scale of Angoulême to have this kind of attention, it must have been brewing for a while.
Yeah. So who owns Angoulême? Is there an ownership? Is there a
I don't know.
Is it owned by the local government? Is it an arts festival owned by a government? Is it is it owned by the current committee who then passes it on? Is there that's part of the issue here, right? It's like
yeah. Well, I'm guessing that it is a government-sponsored festival, that the contract to run it is given to a business that has a committee that is knowledgeable in running festivals. And that's a guess, but seems how it takes over the town the way it does. I'd have to imagine that there's a strong government presence as well, local government, state.
Yeah, I guess because I'm thinking who owns PCAF, for example, the Perth Comic Arts Festival, and I think they push the idea pretty hard at PCAF that it's a not-for-profit or non-profit kind of body.
Right,
so I guess there is a body that is not a person or people or corporation or a business that is PCAF, and people kind of come in and out of it. And like you say, it's a committee which maybe the people who come to the festival to enjoy the festival might one day say, oh, I don't think it's being run anymore, and the committee needs to be sacked and replaced. So I'm just trying to get my head around how that would work, and I needed that as an example to try to figure it out. Not that I could see that happening to PCAF, but maybe that's how Angoulême runs as well. Maybe there's a non-profit.
Yeah, and might just have to do some research.
God, if I wanted to do homework, I'd go back to school.
Anyway, that's a general sense. Don't take whatever we say as Bible. Go and do your own research on Angoulême. But that letter was released. At least Paul Gravett was circulating it on his Facebook feed. So there is some discontent by the past grand prize winners to the organising committee. So we'll see how
you would listen to what Paul had to say as well. He's the guy that Eddie Campbell used to call the man at the crossroads, right? Yeah. Every time there was something comic booky going on, there was Paul. At least in that part of the world. So worth listening to. Yeah. Let's keep talking about international comic conventions for a minute.
Okay.
I don't know much about it, but the Maltese Comic Con, Malta Comic Con, was just on last weekend. So hello. I don't know if any of my Maltese friends watch the show, but it was great to see what was coming out of that. That looked like a really good, fun show. And because there's only it seems to be one show a year. There's only one convention a year. Everybody really goes and has a good time and feels like, wow, that was great. Can't wait for next year. Right. Well, there's me going, all right, as Oz Comic Con done, when's the next one? I've got to get to the Canberra one in a few weeks' time, whatever. We might in Australia complain about the fact that in America, there's so many more, but we've got heaps going on here. As I've said, many times on the show, what happened last weekend. But for Malta, they have a couple of other nerdy shows every so often, through the year. But Malta Comic Con is the con. So I hope to get to that one in a few years' time.
But what Malta has that we don't have is a Popeye set theme park.
That's right, and Dean Fenech, who was one of the main guys that I was chatting to before I went over, and then we hung out a bit. He actually lives right near there. He lives in the north of the main island, and that's where the Popeye Village is. And just this morning,
Popeye Village.
It is, yeah. Just this morning on his Instagram, one of his stories was him and a couple of mates were there. So that was probably like a post-con, let's go to Popeye Village sort of thing. So I loved Popeye Village. It was so cool.
There's Jurassic Park and there's Popeye Village.
They're both up there. They're both like, yes. And I noticed no one was in the water yet, so they must have been there pretty early in the morning before people were getting in the water, because they've got a beautiful lagoon and the water is there for you to swim in. So Malta Comic Con, and Chris Thompson, Australian, was there as well. He's a really big friend of the show and of the people who put on the show. Currently lives in Sicily.
Right.
That's the island, that's the big island off of, So currently lives in Sicily. So it's not too far to go for that. And in case you can't remember me mentioning Chris before, he's like the editor-in-chief or managing editor of Heavy Metal magazine and the relaunch of Heavy Metal. So Aussie made good doing that as well. He'll probably be in Thought Bubble as well. But I think he goes to every Malta Comic Con as well. He was on stage doing interviews and yeah.
Okay, is that it?
No, I've got so much stuff, but we don't have to talk about everything.
No, keep on talking. You've got about 10 more minutes.
Okay, no worries. About 2 days ago at time of recording, the Greener Pastures short film trailer hit 5,000 views, which is pretty cool.
Congratulations.
I haven't been looking at the stats at all for the last month or two, and I just happened to bring them up for some reason, and I went, oh crap, we've just hit 5K just a couple of days ago. So
that's great.
Yeah. There was a weird period, like it's like your Kickstarters, right, where it starts up very high and then flattens out, right? But there was a period in the stats for the viewing where it went up again, like considerably, and it was all international viewing. It was not Australian views. I think YouTube put us into their algorithm. I don't know how you watch something on YouTube via the algorithm. I only go to YouTube to watch a specific thing, but I think that was pushing us into people's feed. So we were getting lots of views that way from people who'd never heard of us before, which was really great as well. And after that, it's flattened out considerably as well. But yeah, it's good to see that we've got 5,000 views. I haven't talked about the film on in Club Damingo for a little while, and I thought I'd just quickly say it's still in post, and it seems to be a little bit stuck in VFX. I think one of the things that Nick, the director, has, and I don't know for sure because I haven't really chatted to Nick about it yet, but I think one of the things that Nick kind of has done in the post-production VFX stage is decided that although the prosthetic looks amazing, the lips, the movement of the mouth didn't really come off as well as we kind of hoped it would.
Right.
So we're actually animating the lips on film. So I have a feeling that's what the main issue is with the VFX right now, why it's taking so long. And of course, none of this can be done for free, or very little of it can be done for free. So that the budget was absolutely maxed out when we made the film. So everything that's happening now is being either done by other people putting in money or people working on it for free. So it means it's low priority for people like Evan, who's doing the VFX. If he's got paid work. He has to work on that and not
Yeah.
the silly cow movie. So we were going to have what's the date? We were going to have a screening. Was it October we were first talking about, and then November, and I think we're pushing it back even further. So, and that was going to be an industry screening, not a public screening.
Right.
But so that's being pushed back. It's like everything else in comics, everything takes forever, and is delayed and delayed and delayed. But
Yes. Yes.
but it's still happening.
That's a pretty big decision, though, that to work on the main character's face at this stage is a pretty big call of a vote of confidence of, no, we've got to get it done, we've got to do it right, even if it does
absolutely
make things slide.
This is 100% because of Nick Kachevsky, the director. This is 100% because of his dedication to making the absolute best thing we can, right? Which is what we all try to do when we make our comics or do an illustration or whatever. But because it's a short film, there's a lot of moving parts and other human resources that need to be utilized. It's not just you or I sitting there for an extra 3 weeks drawing every blade of grass or whatever. It requires other people to come in, which means there's either money or time or both that is what is having to be paid, right? So, but yeah, definitely Nick as the director, his name is like the top level of the credits, right? And he wants what we're making to look amazing.
Good on him.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very lucky to have him.
And it is the kind of thing that once it's done and dusted, you can't go back. I mean, you got to. It's like a comic. You can put into it what you can. But once it's published, that's it. There's an item there that's finished. And
of course you can. Of course I can. We could do the industry screening and then spend another 6 months doing more VFX and even shooting more if we wanted to. No, but we wouldn't. No, I know what you mean. Did you to change the subject a little bit? Did you hear? Have you ever seen the Captain America movie? There's been several, right? There's that one from the 70s where Captain America rode a motorbike and he had the helmet and the Perspex shield on the front. But there was one in the 90s as well, the one where the mask had the rubber ears on it. Do you know that one?
I don't think I know that one. I know the motorbike.
You know how
with
how Captain America's mask in the comics, the ears poke through, right? Which was a thing that a lot of comic characters had, the ears poke through. And when they made the suit for this feature film, I think it was straight to television feature film. Instead of putting holes for ears to go through, they just put rubber ears on it as well, and everybody's made fun of it ever since. And it's not a very good movie, right? But I just read this story recently. Who talked about it? Somebody who's really well regarded in comics and indie comics, right? Really high level indie comics person, who talked about the fact that the director made a rough cut, and sent it to the studio and said, "Here's the rough cut. Work to this, and I'll see you later because my job is done," or whatever. It must have been the way that the project was being done. And they didn't use his rough cut. They got an editor who just edited it in a completely different way, right? But the rough cut has now been released, or somebody has re-edited the real footage to meet the rough cut. And I wish I could remember who this cartoonist was, because it's somebody, I don't know, I don't think it was Jim Rugg, but somebody like of that level, somebody who really knows what they're talking about.
Someone like an Eric Larson?
Somebody like that, right? And they said that they bought the DVD of the new thing, because it's a bootleg thing. You can't find it streaming anywhere. The bootleg of the new edit. And he said, it's possibly my favorite Captain America movie ever. He said it's up there with Winter Soldier and the First Avenger. It's like maybe it's second or third in that trio. And he said, sure, it's like it's the rubber suit with the rubber ears and all of that. But the way that they told the exact same story with the flashbacks and introducing the bad guy and all of that kind of stuff, all of a sudden it's actually a really engaging movie.
Interesting.
Is that Hitchcock who said, filmmaking is made in the editing. Like it's the editing process is the most important part of any of it.
Sounds like something
So
he'd
yeah.
say.
Yeah, I didn't even have that on my list of things to talk about, but yeah, I thought that was. I'm going, oh man, can I get a copy of that somehow? But yeah, so
Well, we might have to do some homework on that.
that's hours on the short film, but there's that that great thing that's out there. And one last thing, speaking of film deals and IP, you heard Tom Taylor and John Sommer-Rivers Neverlanders has landed an animated feature film deal to be made in Queensland, which is really cool. It's going to be made internally. Yeah. So good on them. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm cynical and I don't know anything from the inside. I really don't. But I'm pretty sure that you look at John and Tom and they go, this is our own IP. We're going to start making this as a series of books because that's how you
build momentum.
And you lock down your ability to make money into the future is by having 5 volumes on the shop at Dimmicks, on the shelf in Dimmicks. But I wouldn't be surprised if they said, and it's so IPable in other ways to make films or television shows or whatever. And I don't think I'm saying that cynically, but I don't think they were doing it cynically. I think that, as always, for Tom and John, it's always about making the best product in comics that you can. And I'm sure that's where they came from and what they did. And I'm absolutely ecstatic for them that they've got a deal. Tom's going to write the script, which is worth a lot of money. That pays a lot of money. And John's going to art direct, which is also that's a proper job for I don't know how long. I don't know if that means that John will stop doing comics for a year or 3 while he's working on the feature film. But
I didn't know their involvement was at that level. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn there. I'm pretty sure I saw that in the press releases.
Right.
So really, really cool.
Congratulations!
So good on them.
Yeah. Hard work paying off.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
My list is getting smaller and smaller, but we can definitely leave it at that. No need to rabbit on about the fact that my iMac is winging its way from Shanghai.
How exciting! How exciting!
I've had this thing in front of me crash so many times in the last
Fingers
week.
crossed it lives long enough.
I would put it to sleep at night, right, and get up in the morning and look down the hallway and go, why is it asking me to log in? It's crashed overnight. While nothing was happening. I wouldn't even be logged in and it would just crash overnight and restart itself. So it's, oh my God, any moment now. Thank you.
So next show, you'd be operating on a new Mac.
I doubt it. I think it's not going to come for a few days yet. And I think I might have said it to you personally, but not on the show. I'm going to do a clean install,
that's right.
which I haven't done in 15, 20 years. I'm going to set it up and make it really clean install, not migrate all of the shit from one to the other, which is what I've been doing ever since migration was part of setting up a new Mac. In fact, I was migrating before proper migration was a thing, because I would just take the hard drive out of one desktop and put it in the other, and off I would go again. I'm sure that there's a lot of silt in the workings as well. So I want to do a brand new start from scratch and only put into it what I really need to. All of my work is on external drives anyway, so it's only a few internal things like the mail program that I'm going to have to figure out how to migrate specific things. So it'll take me probably around other stuff I've got to do. It'll probably take me about a week to get it up and running. So maybe next week, maybe the week after.
Excellent. Okay. Well, wave goodbye.
See you, kiddies.
Have a great week. Good luck with everything. Keep on drawing. Momentum.
Yep. Momentum.